welcome guests. I don't know if you will remember the first time you started driving in California. When you got your driver's license, how excited you were trying to drive. My experience starts with going to DMV, taking the written test, passing it. The difficulty I had was with the vocabulary, but I found out like the shoulder of the road, the fork, and things like that. We use different language, vocabulary in Nigeria. But anyway, I surmounted all those. I passed at first sitting. I started practicing how to drive. I didn't pass the driving test the first time. I failed. But the second time, I was able to pass. I was scared driving, comparing third world country driving with first world driving. You can imagine. I've never had 6 lanes this way and 6 lanes the other way. I resort to going through the local roads to get to my destination. But that was not all. Somebody introduced me to a friend who had the same objective like I do. We wanted to pass our exams. We were looking for a way to get through it. So we had this demo lecture in San Francisco. My car was almost a junk. So my friend's car was a new car because she's been here for a long time. The person who brought me wasn't as helpful as I had expected. In fact, he doesn't want me to be independent. That's why he keeps giving me junk cars. So me and my friend, I pleaded with her. I said, please, my car is a junk car. Can I ride with you? I will give you money for the gas. He said, no, you have to drive. Hi. I begged her, she wouldn't let me. She said, no, you have to drive your car. When I noticed that it was impossible for her to help me, I told myself, it's okay. I have to check the oil, check everything, make sure that everything was fine. I did. So I begged her, I said, I have never been to San Francisco, and I'm not conversant with this freeway thing, the way the drivers were jumping in front and out, back and forth. I would please, I have to stay on the right lane, and I will drive behind you. Because this was my first experience going through the freeway and all that. Then that she acceded to. So I was going with her. As she was going, I was driving, and she was a little slow because I just go 55 to 60. So I thought everything was fine because it was a plane, we go from Sacramento, heading towards San Francisco. We went through Richmond. I thought I didn't think of the ocean. I never thought of the ocean until we get towards that. Oh my God! I was holding my steering like this. If I look this side, you see a big ocean. Oh my God! I don't know if I will fall in. I was by myself. I was praying and holding my steering like this. And cars were jumping in and front and back and front and back. So as soon as we go past the ocean, so then I started following her. Inside San Francisco, it's not easy to drive for the first person. So we got to the lecture because it was a demo. They talk us into signing up and this and that. So now I have to be going there from time to time when they have the lecture on weekend. While we were coming back from that first instant driving, I was still scared. I was holding my steering. I looked like I'm falling inside the ocean. In my head, that's the way I was thinking. But after the first experience, I came back, I was thankful, my car didn't break down. And so the second time we were going, I was still slow. It was on Sunday, the lecture, they put it on, so I was driving slowly. As soon as I was coming back, I wasn't speeding. This guy came in, started honking at me because I was slow. And there are other lanes that are free he could have taken. I just slowed down and I didn't care, I was going. By the time I get to the end of the bridge, immediately he honked at me. Here comes the police pursuing him. So by the time I get to the end, he's giving a ticket. I was so happy. But anyway, to sum up, when you see people driving, please sympathize with them. Driving, because you don't know what is going on in their mind, you don't know what their experiences were. So that's what I learned. My courage, I learned it from driving first time to San Francisco. Thank you.
Stella, I too come from the third world. I came to San Francisco from Connecticut. And I had to learn how to drive a standard shift living in San Francisco with all the hills. I was really good at stalling out and using the emergency brake so not to roll down the hill. And then I had to teach my wife how to do that too. So I know what you went through. Your speech was really rich. It was rich not just with humor, but it was rich with a point of view that none of us could have really had. You started out with a great question. Do you remember when? And that's what got me remembering driving in San Francisco. It's that question. One of the things you could have done with the rest of your speeches was to bring that back. Do you remember the first time you were driving on the highway? Do you remember the first time somebody tailgated you? And things like that. Because that's really good for the listener, because it engages that part of the mind that really becomes attentive and brings the listener into your speech. So if you had brought that up a couple of times, that would have made it even better. I love the comments that you made about the difference in language. Okay, fork in the road. We don't have a spoon in the road, do we? Okay, do you know what a soft shoulder is? It's not one to cry on. So yeah, we have all these great expressions that were really, really interesting. You could have done a couple more. I would have loved that. Now, one of the things I didn't get was, who taught you how to drive? That person's really important because that person suffers along with you.
Yeah, my friend, one of my friends.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I have many friends who were trying to help me get me to start driving.
Chai, did she have an extra minute she could have introduced her friend?
Yeah.
How long was her speech? 6 minutes? And,
5 to 7.
huh?
5 to 7.
No, but how many minutes and seconds did she use?
6 minutes.
Oh, 6 minutes. So you had another minute plus that you could have brought in some of that. I was interested in the fear that you brought up, bringing up that kind of vulnerable emotion that you have really also engages the listener to pay more attention. Let's see, it's actually a horror, isn't it? Driving 6 lanes with all these incredible large vehicles, not just passenger vehicles coming in. Huh? One of the things that was really great is you got a lot of laughs and you really engaged the listener that way. You have really good body language. And one of the things, though, when you get excited, and this is subjective on my part, listening is subjective for each of us, I understand less of your words. Your pronunciation broadens out, and I can't understand all the words. When you're just recounting something, it's very clear all the way through. I love your use of calling your car a junker. It is not easy to learn how to drive a car in a junker. And also that one graphic image that I had was your fear of the ocean. And you described it really beautiful. Inside the ocean, you were falling inside the ocean in my mind. Thank you for reminding of that.
I was so scared.
Your ending was really strong, and it was human and comic at the same time. For us to have compassion for other drivers, are you crazy? Huh? But you also learned not just sympathy 4 other drivers, it taught you about courage for yourself, being able to make that huge step from not driving, coming from the third world, and being able to drive it here in this wonderful first world country of ours. Thank you, Stella.
Thank you.